Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Today we're here with
Tentacion.
See, I'm making you say your own name because I've been looking at it online for the past few months and I didn't really know how to say it. But hey man, it's nice to have you in the studio.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
And I guess you should, we got No Jumper alumni Craig Zen over here on the left. Maybe you should introduce your homie.
All units, 1023, 1065, Bolo, reference, signal 33. Just occurred, 3671 North 60, at Riva Motorsports. Several gunshots, possibly a drive-by. No description on the subject. Someone in a black BMW 3X.
Like the ridiculous crowd that goes as far as I can see right now is a pretty good symbol of how much of an impact he made on so many people. And I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Obviously, I'm kind of losing my composure here, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are.
Safe, bro. Let's go. It's boiling, isn't it? Yeah. Here we are, mate. The freaking forest. We've got to check by doing this. Oh! Got a mosquito on me, mate. On the 18th of June 2018, one of the world's most controversial yet inspirational rappers, Tentacion, was shot while leaving a motorsports dealership 40 miles outside Miami. His real name was Jose Onfroy. The Broward County Sheriff's Department later confirmed his death. Authorities say two men fled the scene in a dark SUV after one had opened fire, in what investigators say may have been a robbery. He was only 20 years old. X is a rapper that touched multiple people's hearts in many different ways, and here at Unknown, we were certainly no exception. X was one of our favourite artists of all time, and we'd followed his journey basically from the start. A lot of rappers that sadly pass from being murdered or even dying from old age often receive documentaries, films, and TV shows made about them. Due to X's controversial past, we knew that this would not be the case with him. And despite the problems with his personality, in general he was an inspirational figure who created some amazing music. And everyone deserves a decent send-off when they die at 20 years old. So this is for Jase himself and all of his fans across the world. This is the life and death of Tentacion.
Wow, bought a new gun. 2 times 1. 2 niggas 2. I need to shoot one. I shoot my nigga today. Shoot me a nigga.
That's Billy raps.
And I mean
Billy
one
raps.
too. Shoot a nigga. What's walking over yours?
Third actor, Jesse Onfroy, a.k.a. The Whiner.
So of course, the obvious place to start is with the early life and upbringing of Tentacion. Born on the 23rd of January 1998 to Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy and Cleopatra Bernard, X was instantly exposed to the hood lifestyle, thanks to being raised mainly in Lauderhill, Broward County, which is one of America's most crime-ridden areas. with over 650 annual crimes, meaning only safer than 9% of the 3,000 US cities. With his father being locked up and basically never being around, his mother had a massive task at hand, as well as dealing with her own issues. So this is why X was predominantly raised by his grandmother. My mum was just in situations where she couldn't take care of me.
Like, niggas done drive-bys on me when I was like a jit type shit. Like, my mom just had me, like, she was in a situation where, like, she wanted me around, but she couldn't afford to, like, because of shit she was around, you know. She was still growing up. Like, my mom was raised in Jamaica.
But what was she around? Was she around a lot of, like, drug dealing and crime? Or, like, why is she around motherfuckers that were beating her up and you gotta stab them?
She just, to put it in a simpler term, like, my mom wasn't a prostitute or nothing, but, like, she just wasn't in a very stable environment because she had no help at that. Like,
right.
My mom just had it hard, bro.
And he understood why his mom couldn't always be there for him, and he certainly doesn't have any hard feelings towards her because of it.
I get what she was doing, so I don't resent her. I would never resent my mom, but like, my mom had it hard, I had it hard.
X said that his relationship with his mother was very strange, but he clearly idolized her unbelievable amounts. He said, and I quote, "My mom is like the spitting image of me,
but like, probably more, you know, pretty."
Although his mother often got herself into very dangerous situations, he said he knew she could always handle it. And again, another quote, "My mom is
the only girl that could beat me up."
Really?
Yeah, probably.
What about Ronda Rousey?
Ronda Rousey, you know, I'll throw hands with Ronda Rousey.
Okay. That's good to know.
Ronda Rousey, you can see me with the hands.
In fact, it was actually his mother who encouraged him to get gold teeth from a very young age. And this shows how invested into the hood lifestyle his mother really was. This is all they knew.
Girls is everything, to be honest.
That is, bro.
What you need, it's like becoming a man. It's like losing your virginity once you're like 16
or
so.
It's like from boy to thug.
Yeah. As a young lad with no father figure around, a very strange relationship with his mother, and being brought up in a very crime-ridden area, as you can imagine, X was no golden child.
Basically, a nigga tried to put his hands on my mom type shit.
And you were how young?
I was like 6.
And you stabbed him?
And
I
bit his flesh out and like grabbed the glass shard and like poked him with it type shit, like stabbed him with it. Like,
wow.
I was like...
At only 6 years old, he attempted to stab a man that he was saying was attacking his mother. After multiple acts like this, he was then put on a behavioural correctional programme at Sheridan House, thanks to being kicked out of many middle schools for fighting.
He kicked out of middle school.
Yeah, kicked out of middle school. Why? That's a good question. You're right. You're filling in the blanks.
What did I get? All right, there's a list of shit. I remember I beat some niggas like I beat some niggas and like if shouts out to him, I fuck with him now, we're cool now. Yeah, there was this fat kid in my class that made fun of my mom. I kicked him in his mouth.
Oh, fat kid.
X said he loved fighting and had been doing it since he was only a kid.
Come close, bro.
He knows. What, he's always been throwing the hands or what?
I mean, I've been there plenty situations, like plenty fights. Like, I knew him for 4 years, yeah.
However, interestingly, X actually said that a lot of the fighting was because he wanted attention from his mother. He knew if he fought kids at school, his mom would actually give him attention because she'd have to tell him off. And any type of attention from her was good in his eyes.
As he grew up through his teenage years, the massive passion began to develop regarding music. This is something his mother and aunt recognised, and they actually signed him up for a chorus class, which he was later kicked out for, unsurprisingly, punching a classmate, who he stated kept punching him during a live performance. The music X grew up listening to was not all rap. He actually enjoyed hard rock and metal as a young boy. This genre of music does creep into many of his popular songs, thanks to the use of his aggressive and throaty vocals. After getting removed from the music class, X still had a massive passion for music, but instead of chasing the dream, his later teenage years were full of countless crimes, thanks to the crowd he surrounded himself with, and the feeling of having no hope or motivation. Many people in these situations turn to dark paths. In 2013, X spent a year in a juvenile prison for charges of gun possession, armed robbery, and much more. In fact, he had one of the longest lists of offences in a prison.
Armed robbery.
Armed robbery? What was that like?
No, you're gonna keep going.
Okay, yeah.
Armed robbery, And this is not me being cool. This is not me saying this shit is okay. Yeah, we don't condone this shit. I was just fucking up, you know.
Allegedly.
Armed robbery, armed burglary,
Possession of a firearm.
possession of a firearm, armed burglary with dwelling, resisting without violence.
He got a lot of charges.
Possession of oxycodone.
They was trying to direct filed his ass.
Yeah.
It was. I seen all these charges. Like I seen it. Like we went to court.
I had the worst charges in the
The
jail.
judge read the charges to him, and I'm looking at this nigga like, what the fuck is little nigga is?
I don't even know where to start on that list though. Like,
And it
where
was
to start? Like, why are you stealing cars? Number one, why are you selling those
No, it
pills?
wasn't even cars. It was the amount of houses I robbed. Like,
Luckily for him, this instantly gained him respect from other inmates, meaning he really didn't have a hard time in prison. They do say everything happens for a reason, and maybe this case is true. In prison, X met Stokely Goborn, aka Ski Master Slumdog, who at this point also dreamt of being a rapper, but felt he had no hope. But as you know, these two have gone on for great success together. X meeting Ski in prison is one of the big factors in the making of his career, him as a person, and this is something we will pick up on later.
During just his time in prison, one of his greatest controversies came about, and this is something that haunted his career for the rest of his life. When the media had discovered that X had beat a gay man half to death in prison, people instantly assumed he was homophobic. Although these actions are something that can never be made okay, this is the defense that X made on the No Jumper podcast.
I am not homosexual. I am not homophobic. So if a homosexual man is around me, I will not act like a fucking prick. You know, I'm not gonna act like a piece of shit and be like, oh, he's a faggot. I don't want him.
But if he tries to rape you,
But if he tries to rape me, I'm gonna bash his skull.
That to me is where you cross the line.
Exactly.
Yeah. The rape thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel me? I've got gay friends. I know gay people. Gay people are cool. All right. So basically, they put him in the room. They put him in a room with Ski, and
I got the fuck out of there first quarter. Nigga was sitting in the corner staring at me, right? So I'm like, bro, if you keep staring at me, I'm gonna beat your ass, bro, and I'm gonna get another charge for you. And I really not trying to catch another charge, because we in here for some dumb shit. We gonna sit like 6 months, go to a different program for some dumb shit. I'm not trying to do that. Anyway, so he's sitting in the corner staring at me, so I'm just banging on the door. I'm like, yeah, y'all gotta get me the fuck up out of here. But I keep banging on that shit. I kept banging on that shit till they let me out. So they put him in
my room. All right, I'm gonna tell you that part. So, like, my level of respect for everybody within the jail was like, I wasn't a fucking prick. You feel me? Like, I wanted everybody to be kosher. I wanted everybody to be calm and like just move as a family type shit. You feel me?
Right.
So I respected the officers. A lot of niggas came in there trying to disrespect the officers. I was never that guy. So they came to me after they kicked him out his room and asked me if they could put him in my room. And I looked at them and I laughed and I was like, y'all can put him in my room, but if he does anything I disapprove of, I'm gonna kill him and I'm not gonna give you any warning. Like, and I said it just like that, and I put it on my life. I said it like that, and they was like, all right, that's fine. As long as he don't touch you, you shouldn't have to put your hands on him. And I was like, all right, that's fine. So they put him in my room. First few days he was straight, like he was cool. He read his books. I stayed in my corner. He did his thing. You feel me? He asked me a few questions. That was fine. Like I said, I'm not homophobic. One day he just got sus. Like he was staring at me type shit. He was staring at me throughout the day, and like, bro, jail makes you crazy.
Yeah.
Like I was fucking like, ask him. There was days where I'd slam my head on the fucking door for no reason. Like I just wake up and
just because
like,
you want to feel something. What
yeah, I
the fuck
want to
else
feel
are you
something. Yo, I warned you, and I laughed. That's all I said.
Right.
I laughed and I said I warned you. So I walked out the room to go take my shower, and I came back in, and I was trying to calm down, trying to be kosher. So I turn around and I see this nigga staring at me while I'm putting on my jumpsuit. So you gotta be in a towel in front of the nigga. You have to get naked in front of your friends type shit. So that's why it's better to be in a room with your niggas you fuck with. You feel me? Because you get a weirdo, it's uncomfortable. Yeah. So I go in the corner by the toilet type shit and tie on my jumpsuit, and I don't put it on all the way. I tie it around my waist, and I start beating his face in, and then when I did that, I tried to strangle him. And long story short, I was gonna kill him type shit. But luckily, to my luckily, because I wouldn't be here today, I wouldn't be speaking to you, I wouldn't be as far as I was. You feel me? I wouldn't be successful. Luckily, a guard came over, and I said, I told y'all I would kill him. I told y'all. And the thing was, like, they respected that. You feel me? Because like I told them what I was gonna do. Like, it's not like
You're saying the cops respect, or the guards respect?
The guards respect.
Yeah.
Because like they put me in a room with someone that made me uncomfortable, and I said that was perfectly fine. You feel me?
So you didn't actually get in trouble for doing this stuff?
No, I finessed it, but I did get in trouble the first day. So what happened was, after I did that, like I said, the guards really, I'm not gonna say no names because I'm not a snitch, you feel me? But like, the guards really fucked with me. So they told me go to the bathroom, wash the blood off your hands. And, bro, I swear, yeah. In my face. He said, I swear to God when I say this, he told me, take it off my hands. And my mom is in the visitation. Go see my mom. I went to visitation with blood on my fingernails. My mom saw the blood in my fingernails and asked me, what did you do? She looked at me and asked me, what did you do? Because I just had this smug, like empty look on my face. So what they did was they cut my visitation short. Literally, as soon as my mom says, don't you know that they can take you away?
They rush in and grab you?
Rushed. The cliche as fuck when they rushed in, grabbed me, and they took me to what is a hole.
Yeah.
And the hole is where you're by your fucking self, and you have no mat. It's just a concrete slab.
That shit feels smaller than all the regular cells. It like
Nothing.
makes you go crazy, literally.
Yes.
You're just sitting there. Feel like
Nothing.
get smaller, bro.
Nothing. It's nothing.
How long
So,
were you in there for? You don't even know?
it was the rest of the day, right?
Yeah, it was
They
the
kept
rest
me in
of the
there
day. That shit kept making
because
you crazy.
I put him in the ER, so they had to keep me in there for like the rest of the day type shit. But
So that is the defence from the man himself. You can make of this story whatever you wish.
As I previously mentioned, in prison, ex met ski lads, and they soon became best friends.